And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to a very special edition of the Stegosaur Pigosaur Monday, the Monday Night Wings of Liberty edition. I'm, of course, your host, Live VIP, and with me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to 2010. It's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time. It's great to be back. I've never casted Wings of Liberty myself, but we are jumping into our first series of the night, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak LE. We have the American Protoss player, the Orange Protoss. It is Bulmyeolja. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the other American Protoss player, the Red Protoss for Gaming. It is a creature. If you're in the chat, !B, and you will get a link to the, of course, a bracket itself. You also get a link to the rule sets, which is going to be a factor coming into this, as we are opening up with 8 workers. We have an 8-worker start here for both Bulmyeolja and for Creature, and welcome one and all to the Wings of Liberty edition of the Stegosaur Monday, or the Pigosaur Monday. It has been far too long since I've ever seen a Wings of Liberty game. It's been a very, very long time, 2012, or I guess partly through 2013. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. So again, we have a bit of a treat for you here. When it comes to the map pool, of course, we have some very old maps that we've not seen in a very long time. Maps like, oh, let me just quickly double check here. Maps like Scrap Station, Daybreak, Whirlwind, Shakura's Plateau, Johanna, let's go. Antigua Shipyard, and Metalopolis. Oh boy. Been a while. A lot of those maps that I just mentioned, I believe they were ported over into Heart of the Swarm for the first season. So even if you haven't seen Wings of Liberty, if you've only seen Heart of the Swarm, I believe you would have seen some of those maps as well. But for now, here we go. We are going to be settling in to Daybreak. Oh boy, it's been a long time. And I'm not too, I mean, again, just, you know, we're in the off season of EVT, so why not have some fun, like playing some Wings of Liberty edition of the game set, I should say, maybe even Heart of the Swarm at some point as well. Bring back the Swarm host. Oh no. For now, though, we're just settling in. For now, we are just settling in, and nothing too crazy. We're just making our workers here. We have our initial gate into Cybercore. Zeld first by Creature, just to be safe and sound. No Zeld here by Bulmyeolja. Now, these early Zelds and these early units, they do make a lot of sense here coming into the early to mid game, or coming into the early game of PvP. Just because of the low worker count, it does mean you can be a little bit more aggressive early on with earlier gateway timings, with earlier proxies as well. We can see that Creature is playing very safe back at home. Meanwhile, Bulmyeolja is going to be a little bit more aggressive, going for a 2-gate opener or 2-gate variation with a second gateway on the way. Ooh, second gateway on the way. Meanwhile, Bulmyeolja is going to be moving up towards bottom right, is going to be setting up a proxy. It's going to be a short series. I'm ready for the one base all in. Oh no. So because the worker counts are a lot lower coming into the game, it means it takes a lot longer to actually even afford an expansion. So one base plays a little more viable. It's a reason why if you watch a lot of Wings of Liberty, there's a lot of one base play. There's a lot of one base games. Very rarely do you get into the late game in a Wings of Liberty game, at least especially in the first kind of half of the iteration of the game. Maybe a little bit more so in the later half. But now, Creature, he does push his way in. Uh-oh. Remember, there's no shield battery. Just bear that in mind. There's no shield battery. Stalker so far able to hold on, forcing Creature out. The pylon within range of the ramp here. Yeah, the pylon is within range. Stalker taking a lot of hits, and Bulmyeolja, he's gonna hold. He's gonna shut this down completely. He's gonna shut this down. Stalker's being forced back. Zeld's taking a lot of hits. We have more Stalkers on the way, and oh my god, as we warp in 3 Stalkers at a time. Behind this, we have a 3-gate setup as well. 3 gates for Creature, 3 gates for Bulmyeolja. 1 proxied. And Bulmyeolja has to get up on the low ground. It does pull away, gets a pylon. Does get a pylon, but he's down a Stalker. Oh, he's down a Stalker. Creature is working his way through. Oh my god, it's loud. Is working his way through, breaks through the initial line of Stalkers, warping on the high ground ward. That's crazy. No shot. We can warp in on the high ground. Okay. Okay. Well, that's not a thing anymore. Anyway, able to force the army back. Mate. Warping the Zealots one at a time. And Creature, he's gonna break through. He's gonna break through this, taking down all the Stalkers. Again, Creature trying to buy some time here, but alas, I mean, he's being overwhelmed. He's being overwhelmed at this point. Old pylon base made. the clownery, Papi, the clownery. Jesus, I was curious as to the purpose of the pylon, but yeah, I guess that's what it's gonna be for. To warp into the main from the low ground. And with that, Creature is overwhelming. He's getting to the mineral line. Probe's gonna be going down. Stalkers as well. Nice kiting here against all these workers. So far, it's gonna be 13 probe kills. And every worker's gonna fall. GG gets called, and Creature, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Creature does take a lead in the series. And I'll be honest, I expect most of the games here tonight to be like this, to be very short, to be hyper aggressive as well. We'll see if we do ever embrace, you know, a 3-4 base economy versus 4 bases. For now, though, GG. GG, well played. This is something that was patched out of the game. For those that are curious, you can no longer use a pylon to warp in on the high ground. That is no longer a thing in SE2, but in Wings of Liberty, mate, they didn't. It was the Wild West. It was the Wild West of SE2, you know, back in the day when things like that could still occur. So yeah, with that, GG, well played. That initial pylon was more of a threat than we otherwise assumed, and with that, we now have a lead for Creature getting into game 2. Game 2, it's family time, because Ohana means family. Let's go. We're loading into Ohana here. Once again, this is a map that did return in Heart of the Storm. I think actually most of these maps returned in Heart of the Storm at one point or another, but here we go. We're jumping in. As this was a part of the Dream Pool, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ohana, we have the American Protoss player, the Orange Protoss, representing clan MN Bar. See? It is Bulmyeolja. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Root Gaming from the land of the Americas. It is a Creature. Here we go. 6 workers. I thought it was 8. Sorry, I thought it was 8 as well. My bad. 6 workers start. So my mistake. We're learning together. Here we go. So we have our 6 worker starts. Players going to be saturating. Likewise, welcome one and all to Ohana here. Very interesting main bases. I mean, our natural base is going to be very safe and sound. Despite that, no economic opening. We mentioned this before, but because of the low worker count, expansions are going to be delayed. One base play is a lot longer here, so there's a lot more chances for just one base all in. So as we did notice, we have our Nagas in the center. Third base is actually a little bit more in an awkward position here. You can actually try to I can definitely see all-ins being a lot more effective here on Ohana, as the third base is very much so isolated compared to the natural. Natural is a little bit more defendable. Yo, this ramp setup system is crazy. Like, let's go. I don't know if we're ever gonna get a 4th base or anything like that coming into this, but we'll see. We shall see. And once again, 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener at the Creature. Bulmyeolja going for the gate into Cybercore, so a little bit more of an economic start. I mean, I say economic start. I don't know if I can actually say that with full certainty here. Cybercore's on the way. And we're settling in. It also feels like the in-game sound is a little bit louder than usual. A little bit. Is this Ohana? Remember, guys, Ohana means family. It does mean family. Ohana. As we are moving out. Of course, there's a lot of little intricacies that are different in Wings of Liberty. There are units that just don't exist as well. True, there's no Disruptor, but there's also no Lurker, no Liberator, no Widowmine. Crazy time. As we are setting up. Second gateway is on the way here for Bulmyeolja. And so far we have a much more passive start here. Do we see an expansion? Do we take our natural bases? Let's go. We're getting there. As creatures gonna be scouting, checking his third, checking his fourth location, making sure there is no proxy. Making sure there's no shenanigans afoot. And as we can see, yeah, there is none. We are going to be looking to go for a 4-gate setup. Here we go. We have a 3rd and 4th gateway on the way, so it's going to be a 1-gate, 4-gate all-in. 1 base, 4-gate all-in, what I meant to say. Let's go. I say 4 gates. This probe can set up a proxy across the map to commit into what, up to 6 gateways. Which I believe a full 1 base economy can sustain, at least somewhat. Yep, there's that proxy. Nice force field locking down the stalkers. Bulmyeolja, he's got some moves. Catches that creature, gets 1, gets 2. Massive pickups, especially in the mirror matchup, by the way, to bring down 2 stalkers already. Here comes that proxy to reinforce across the map, and here comes the 1 base all in. Meanwhile, back at home, creature, he is going to have his own 4-gate setup. Again, it's going to be a robo before 3rd and 4th gateway. What does this mean? This means immortals. So even though things are looking a little bit dire, creature is going to be down 2 stalkers, which is a big loss for creature. The robo will make up for that. The immortals will make up for that. Observer first. Pylon is done. I'm assuming that Bulmyeolja is going to set up a proxy, but for now he is still reinforcing back at home. There we go, warp gate's done. Show us what you got. Okay, not going for the proxy gateway. Oh, the warp-ins are so fast. Like, I was focusing a lot more on the high ground possibility warp in, but with you don't need a gateway. Like, that was an insanely fast warp in. Like, we're used to it, like in current StarCraft, how you without a gateway, like the warp ins are so delayed. But I mean, true, like this is part of why like 1 base 4-gate all-ins were all the craze in Wings of Liberty, because I mean it's I mean the pylon's crazy. you could just warp in. Don't need a gateway. Oh my god. Bulmyeolja scouted the expansion. He's aware. Or I say that he doesn't quite see the expansion. Does see the setup. Does get a natural, and he's not committing. Okay, we're expanding. Let's go. But yeah, that warp-in just caught me off guard. And sorry, I didn't notice it last game either. But yeah, crazy. Is there a list of mod changes for the tournament? This is not a mod. This is just Wings of Liberty, basically. So I'm sure that on Wikipedia there's probably a list of what the game was looking like when it came to the last patch of Wings of Liberty. But that's what this is off of. So unfortunately, I don't have like a full list of what the game was like. But I'm sure it exists. I'm hoping it exists like on Wikipedia or something. Meanwhile, 2 base Colossus, let's go. As they're building up, of course, no adepts. We're headed towards Colossus production here from the side of creature. Meanwhile, we do see Bulmyeolja working towards Immortal production and his own Blink Stalkers. If I recall correctly, the Immortal was a very different, it's a bit of a different unit coming into this as well. Because I believe Hardened Shields did work differently in Wings of Liberty. Pylon is going to be shut down. And Bulmyeolja can move out. Creature, that's a name I've not heard in a while. Yeah, Creature, he returned to competitive play at the start of 2024. So it's been great to see Creature's return to competitive play and his growth over the past year. We've been covering him at Cheesedelphia. And he's been playing in OSC events and online Open Cups. Ooh. As he does depower the gateways. And he's going for the gateway itself. Gee, it's so loud. Why is it so much louder? No, back in 2012, units they were just louder in general, you know. These boomer units, Kappa. Behind this, we have more gateways on the way, working towards charge. Interesting. So getting into a charge-based composition. Colossus building up for creature. Rocks being knocked down. I didn't even notice. Okay, there are rocks to gain access to the third base. Okay, this is really interesting when it comes to map layout. Okay. That makes the third base much more secure. True. Much more secure. Building on more Colossus. Except the one that's finishing up here for creature. Bulmyeolja has yet to take in that direction himself. As his observer does confirm the third. Bulmyeolja one step behind economically at least. When immortals are immortal, It's louder for us to remember this game. True. We can't hear it otherwise. This creature moves out. Does get eyes on the third. Can't compare it to his own. Is where he is slightly ahead. This isn't a part of the map, right? I don't think so. Yeah. I think it's just aesthetics. I was like, can we just like warp in here? No. I believe outside of the bounds of the map. As, yeah, the game is going to slow down. We're actually getting to a 3-base economy. Okay. I wasn't sure if we would, especially after even the openers here. But no, we're slowing things down. We're building up on 3 bases, getting to mass charge Arc on Colossus from creature. Meanwhile, Bulmyeolja has a more Blink Stalker immortal heavy composition. His own Colossus production is delayed, which is concerning. Colossus, they do amazingly against light units, that is true, but here against a gateway composition, they can do very well as well. So I'm concerned for Bulmyeolja. His immortals are going to be great against Stalkers, but he's not up against Stalkers. Okay, creature is amassing. Building up. Looking to move out. Bulmyeolja, he does spot this. He force away the threat. The Colossus, no! The Colossus is going to go down. Massive pickup. Nice force fields, looking down the Immortals. And the Immortals are going to fall. The first one does go down. The first two even. Yeah, and from here, creature just breaks through. He just breaks through the defensive line. Remember, no shield batteries. Likewise, there's no shield battery overcharge. Sorry, there's no NG overcharge either. Photon overcharge, that's what I was going for. Right, there's no mothership. That was in Heart of the Swarm. No mothership core, I should say. And GG gets called. Creature, he breaks through, and Creature, he will take the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. It's, yeah, hard to think about a time, but both in Heart of the Swarm and in Legacy of the Void, like different units or different kind of things were added to the game to actually help Protoss defensively, whether it came to either shield batteries, whether it came to the mothership core, then eventually the Nexus overcharge and the pylon overcharge as well, until we finally go to the iteration that we have now. Yeah, I mean, that does help quite a bit when it comes to helping Protoss defend, survive, and actually, you know, have a greater defender's advantage. That doesn't really exist here, actually, anywhere near as much. Like, what is your defender's advantage outside of, like, maybe a better concave or a better position? Because, of course, your opponent's able to warp in and reinforce as quickly as you do, and you have no other, like, kind of defensive structures. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Creature, he will take it. He will advance on into the next round. And we'll have a look at the bracket here to figure out where we're headed and where we are going. Let's go.